Imagine you're going through an interview process and you've already been through 5 rounds of interviews with a recruiter, professional, and hiring manager, only to be seen as candidate number 2, aka rejected in the final round. It freaking sucks, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that there are actually 3 things that you can do now to make sure that you guarantee a job offer while you go through that interview process so you don't have to deal with that BS. I'm gonna try to explain this in less than 5 minutes, so if I'm able to do that, hopefully you can give me a like and subscribe so you can see more of these type of videos. Tip number 1, you need to use the tell me about a time method. The tell me about a time method is basically a behavioral question method where you put tell me about a time before every qualification and responsibility in the job description. Now, why you do this is because many recruiters and hiring managers ask you questions based off these qualifications and responsibilities because of what you're going to be doing in the role. Let me give you an example with a real job description. So let's just say that you're using a job board. Let's just say Job Board AI by Consulting, and you come across this job, which is a senior data engineer, and it's at GD Information Technology. Now, as you can tell, there's a lot of responsibilities that are on here, as well as qualifications that you need. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take the tell me about a time method by going to one of the responsibilities and putting it in the beginning. For example, this one says design, develop, test, deploy, and maintain data-centric applications. So what you do is you say, tell me about a time you designed, developed, tested, deployed, and maintained data-centric applications. It's that simple. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna write 3 bullet points which answer that question. If you do this for every single responsibility or qualification, I guarantee you, you will be 80% of the way there to preparing the best for your interviews. Number 2, you need to suck up to the interviewer. Now, interviews work in different ways. Number 1, you might have a recruiter screen. Number 2, you might talk to a hiring manager. Or number 3, you might talk to someone who's on the hiring team. It doesn't matter who you're interviewing with, but one thing you need to ask them is about their story. Now, why you wanna ask them about their story is because you wanna hype them up. You want them to share their life story to you and what it means to them working at that company. If you're able to do that, then you're gonna be able to use that to your own advantage by talking about how it's really exciting that you hear about this. For example, let's say that you're interviewing with a hiring manager and the person's name is Mandy, and Mandy has an incredible story that you've seen on LinkedIn. What you're gonna do is at the end of your interview, you're gonna ask her a question about her story. How you do this is you basically say, hey, Mandy, I saw that you went from a platform engineer to a senior platform engineer in 3 years. That's incredible. How did you do it? And what's your story? And maybe she'll talk to you about, hey, you know, what motivated me was really my kids, and I come from an immigrant background. And you can use that to your advantage if you also come from the same background. So you'd say something like, wow, I really resonate with that story. I also come from an immigrant background and I definitely relate to you. That then creates that rapport between you and the other person that's different than everybody else, because everybody else might have the same experience as you, except the differentiator for you is that you share something in common. The third one is actually before your interview, you want to ask the recruiter a question that's going to change your game plan. You literally ask them, what are the interview questions? Now that might sound crazy, right? Like, why would they give you the interview questions? The answer is quite simple. The person wants you to do well, because if they do well, then they fill out headcount. So what can happen is you ask that question and they say, well, I can't give you the answer. But many times the recruiter or hiring manager will actually just give you the questions or give you a glimpse of them. For example, I asked one of our clients before who was interviewing at Tesla to ask the recruiter about what questions he would be asked. At first he was hesitant, but he asked and they gave him a list of questions he should prepare for. Now, he was asked every single one of those questions during the interview, and he was able to crush it and ultimately land an offer there. That's a way that can help you not having to guess, but instead you knowing exactly what you're going to be asked, which can help you prepare even better than you wish you would have. And I know I said I wanted to give you 3 tips, but I actually want to give you one more, which I feel like is so important as you go through the process. It's asking for timelines of when you'll be hearing back after your interview. Now, this is important because as a job seeker, you probably get a lot of anxiety of not knowing exactly when you'll hear back. And it sucks because you say to yourself, well, did I do good? Did I do bad? And you don't know exactly if you did. So what you need to do at the end of your interview is you need to ask the interviewer the question of when you should hear back. When you get that timeline of when it is, you know exactly when to follow up about your candidacy. This helps job seekers lower anxiety and ease the nerves to think about, well, are they ever gonna get back to me? And I wish for every single job seeker who's watching this going through the interview process, you never have to go through that. Anyways, there's a lot of other interview tips that I recommend, but these are some of the top ones I do. But if you want a list of them, just comment interview in the comments. And what I'll do is I'll send it to those who comment within 72 hours. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you really enjoyed this video and it was helpful, make sure to click that thumbs up button and click subscribe, because I'll be posting more videos to help you land jobs and crush those interviews. And if you want to see more videos now, I'd recommend checking out this video right here, because this one's going to be helping you on your job search. I guarantee it.